My 17M girlfriend, 16F, had an abortion. I had no idea she was pregnant. Her or her family had no intention to tell me. They thought I wouldn't want to be in its life or at least help out. That's not true. Whatever she would have decided, I would have supported her. I would have at least helped pay for the abortion. She only told me because she didn't want to lie anymore. When I'm around her I feel betrayed and angry. I don't think I want to be with her after she did this. And the fact that her and her family thinks so little of me. I don't blame her, she's hurting too. But I also have the right to be upset. I do feel for her. She has many emotions right now. She's hurting, she's sad, she feels so many things that I can't begin to understand. I am here for her no matter what. I know it wasn't an easy decision, but if she thinks it was the right one, so do I. I'll stand by her regardless of my feelings as long as she needs. And no, I haven't said any of this to her because it's not about me, but I have a right to feel this way. You guys are trying to make my feelings seem like if I knew I would have tried to change her mind, but that's not the case. I just wanted to know. Her not trusting me is what upsets me. If I had known any decision she would have chosen, I wouldn't have disagreed with her. All I wanted to do was be aware so I could support her. Edit, to everyone in the comments saying what are you going to do with a baby, you're only 17, stop. I have never said I wanted a child, I just wanted to know so I could support her either way. The fact that she assumed I wasn't going to take responsibility hurts. Please stop trying to make me into an asshole for wanting to do the right thing. I wouldn't discount how much of the decisions were made by her parents, not her. She's very young and was in a difficult, maybe even scary spot, depending on how strict the parents are and how they took the news. They may have really come down hard on her and said something like, "You're a horrible person, but if you swear never to see that boy again, we'll take care of this problem for you." They may have been worse than that, threatening her by saying she could only remain in their home if she had the abortion and stayed away from you. It's worth a conversation to find out. Please learn how to have sex safely. If you are getting girls pregnant and you're both this young, you are going to have many troubles as you get older. Please learn how to protect yourself and your partners properly. If you are going to try and act like an adult, then act like an adult. How long have you guys been together? While I do agree that she at least should have told you, she definitely made the right decision as far as the pregnancy. You're both so young and having a kid is hard enough even when you don't have one until you're older. Relationships at that age rarely last either, tbh, so then if she kept it and you ended up breaking up, that's a lot of other drama you'd have to deal with on top of still having to deal with each other until the kid is 18 plus. She's a 16-year-old girl still in high school. She was scared, and unfortunately because of the world we live in now, it's not uncommon for males, regardless of age, try to force/convince their GF/wife to have a child that they aren't ready for. It's not that she thinks badly of you, but she was afraid of your reaction and response. She didn't know whether or not you'll still want to be with her. Once again, that's not uncommon either. What you need to do is have a proper conversation with her, and don't roll up on her with a pissy-ass attitude either, because that'll only confirm that she was right not to be honest and opening up to you in the first place. You need to tell her how it made you feel, that she didn't have enough faith in you to open up about it, and reassure her that you will be there for her. The key for any type of relationship, especially with a significant other, is communication. About your edit, the whole being a deadbeat deal that you talk about, would need some context for a proper assessment of it. But the fact is, by aborting she saved 3 people from misery. Babies are tremendously expensive and take a lot to be raised properly. Whole fuck off response also shows that you are not ready for this massive responsibility. If you feel betrayed, break up with her and start working on building yourself. Overall, I'm glad that none of you will have to deal with what would have been an epic mistake. Husband took stimulus money against our agreement. Edit, I'm overwhelmed by all the support, you guys. Seriously, blown away. I'm trying to catch up on all the comments, but I love them all. Also, I had to edit a bit because I was crying when I wrote this last night and the errors were atrocious. I was so embarrassed. Also, for the sake of clarity, I am an Instacart shopper, so that's my income, and being outgoing, personable and a people pleaser generally ensues that not only do I enjoy my work, but I'm extremely successful with it. Also, when we got married I had a few legal bills, nothing crazy, that he paid off, and he uses that as an excuse for my leeching onto a man to take care of me. Every time I bring up anything he reminds me that he carried my ass for 12 years and it's my turn to pay for things. This is a long and convoluted story, so please bear with me, Reddit. My husband and I have been married for 12 years, we have 5 children, 11 and under, including a child that passed from SIDS at just shy of 6 months, not hugely important but a definite turning point. There have been issues abound, both before and after our child's death, but the main point has always circled back to me being a stay-at-home mom and not financially contributing. Let me say, we live in an affluent area and are by no means struggling, but I'm not on any of the checking accounts because I don't work, so I don't get to have a say in our finances. This finally came to a head earlier this year when I began working part-time. So, I'm working part-time and my husband and I thought, okay, if I make $50 a day, that's fantastic. We will use it for groceries, which I'll cover and call it a day. Apparently, no. Turns out, I'm really good at my part-time job and make between $150 and $200 a day, so I covered Christmas plus groceries, and he's telling me I need to pick up the A, B, C bills. We do not need the money and I'm frustrated that I was successful beyond his expectations, so now he's trying to take it away, even though we agreed upon a course of action that turned out to be very lucrative. Let me be clear, I'd be open to reevaluating bills, even though he makes 5x what I do and we are very comfortable, but he just expects it and changed the game plan because I was doing well. Fast forward to us talking stimulus pay. He suggested we take our pay and open a separate checking account that we were both on, for car maintenance. I agree with the caveat that we need to keep the money we were given for our kids in the account and each take our own and put it into our personal savings for emergencies. He agreed. Then I find out he got the stimulus direct deposited, never told me, and transferred the whole thing into his personal savings. I'm pissed and confused. Like, WTF? I agreed to something, we talked like adults, and you promptly ignored it. When I confronted him about it, he said I was obsessed with money and a gold digger, and how dare I second guess his judgment on financial matters. He's the head of the house. I've never really stood up for myself before, maybe because I wasn't bringing in an income, so I felt I didn't have a leg to stand on. But I feel like this $600 is mine to save, and I'm not wrong in being angry that he basically stole it from me. Look into financial abuse and look into a lawyer. Oh Lord have mercy, there's a crap ton of red flags here. Like so many. A bouquet of red flags, actually. Y'all got some serious issues to work out, and need marriage counseling ASAP. As far as the stimulus goes, if he took your $600, then yeah, he's trash. Big time. He knew what he was doing and didn't care about you, and that's a problem. If it was only his own, then yeah, he shouldn't have done it and should have kept his word. It was wrong, but there's not much you can do about it. He's calling you a gold digger, but what he's doing is financial abuse. Does he help at all with the kids, the house? Does he treat you like a maid, and expect that you wait on him hand and foot because you're not contributing? So many red flags. All these things. He doesn't lift a finger with the kids or help around the house, ever. I'm running myself ragged. This is all kinds of messed up. He's outright trying to financially control you. First he didn't allow you to access money, you're a fucking adult, WTF, and now that you've made your own money he wants his fingers in it. Oh no honey, that's yours. And it only proves he's seeking control, not cooperation, by direct depositing that check. He lied, like to your face, and called you a gold digger. I'd have clawed his fucking eyes out. You're a much more patient woman than I. I think you need to start an emergency fund, no matter what he says, because this sounds dangerous. You're in an abusive marriage. Also fuck that, He is not the head of the house and doesn't get to claim that because he has a genital that sticks out. I told him once I had an inverted penis, which all females do, just not quite that literally haha, and huge boobs that men don't have, so I won the gender war. He was pissed lol. It felt good to one-up him, even if it meant a few hours of berating afterwards, woman shrugging, small victories. After trusting my gut, turns out partner of 11 years is cheating. First off, I frequently read Reddit, but never posted. This is obviously a throwaway, so please, politely, correct me of any miscues. After trusting my gut, I finally have substantial knowledge, but not absolute proof of my wife carrying out an extramarital affair. BG, wife and I have been together 11 years, married 3. We always had a great relationship. Sex was great, exploratory and frequent. I always described us as a perfect partnership. As no surprise, when we had our first child our personal relationship took a dive as we are both working professionals and focused on our child. Eventually, it regained traction and we were just as good as ever. Fast forward a couple years later and she became pregnant with our second child. We worked through some rough patches again, but I felt we made it past them. As mentioned, we are both very career focused, and both of us concentrate very hard on balancing work and home life. I suppose I'm the breadwinner. Our insurance, housing bills, and overall comfort comes from my income. It's not that she is incapable. She just happens to be very well educated, MS, in a field that is incredibly low paying. I, on the other hand, chose a career path that is very demanding, but well compensated in both income and benefits. I have also been very supportive of whatever career choices she decided on. More school? Go for it. Take a lower paying, but more rewarding job. You do you, I got us. I even took a position for a few years ago that was very challenging, but had way more flexible hours so I could help out as much as I could. Doc appointments, child care, etc. We also never went along with the traditional gender roles. I changed diapers, drop off / pick up kids from daycare and even tell my boss I can't show certain days to stay at home to watch the kiddos because she had to go to work. I do laundry and keep up with the house as much as I can, in addition to the typical landscaping and exterior work around the house. Although I have brought up my concerns that I would like more help around the house, I never complained. Now, the past 12 months have been pretty rough. We have grown very distant and expressed our dissatisfaction with where we're at as a couple. And ever increasingly, she has consistently started to shut me out, as far as much as resisting any sort of intimacy. Well, recently I have noticed it more and more. It's become a trend for her to get off work later than normal, which is uncommon in her job. Eventually, I started noticing FB messages coming in late at night, and early in the morning. This caught my attention, as the notification sound has been turned on recently, which was never the case before. And finally, I noticed several notifications coming in early in the morning, almost like a good morning, and got to the point where she would ensure that her phone was in close proximity when these rang in, just in case I would possibly get a glimpse. Through some clever, although maybe borderline means, I was able to track her location the past week. Typically, her whereabouts were pretty standard. However, today I saw her location not just irregular, but about 1 to 2 miles away from her work site, dead center in a residential area, to be specific. I left work when I saw this to check it out. After about 30 minutes of searching, I could not physically locate her vehicle. For record, I was not planning on confrontation, just of snapping a pic of the vehicle / LP at the site to provide to an attorney, and possibly use as proof to her. At this point, I am 99% certain she was nowhere near her workplace, as she has never been more than 500 to 1,000 meters away during work hours, and this was clearly closer to 2 to 3 kilometers. I asked about her day, and she said she was at work all day, no detours. Do I confront? Do I continue to monitor until I get proof? Do I contact an attorney now? Any help would be appreciated. I really want to confront because I feel she will relent when I press, but I want to make sure this can be used to my benefit, should it get to divorce court.